Hi, and welcome to Not the Fuck Gaming Podcast, a podcast where we talk about games and sometimes we don't say fuck. I am William Hououin, and I'm with.
Gruebitten.
And we have a special guest today, a recurring guest, which is.
One man in Japan, aka Brad Murasaki.
Hey, Brad, happy to have you. We are on the same time zones right now, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Although it means that I had to actually wake up really early.
Yeah, yeah. Um, well,
Wait
my
to be here.
my my kids are back to school, and I'm getting quite early myself. We're recording this in the morning, Wednesday morning, which is quite unusual for all of us because I'm on
Yeah.
vacation and Brad's on vacation, so we have a bit more time.
Well, my
So
kid's back to school now too, so yeah, getting up
yeah,
early.
so yeah, this is it. Um, so before we do the what have we been playing and stuff, we're gonna read the comments we got on the last episode. First, we have Mike saying, "Congratulations on the anniversary. Last time we said that we have been doing the podcast for 1 year, and we did throw a little truth or dare game. And I said we will do it on the next podcast. But we have a guest today, and I don't have the answer to all the questions. Not that we got that many, but what I'm saying is I didn't forget. We will do it. We will do a special Truth or Dare episode uh, as soon as possible.
Dare I
So
say you weren't telling the truth?
yeah, you could say that. You could say,
I'm
things
just
happen.
teasing.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, just we haven't forgotten the thing. We will answer the truth uh, asked, and I'm gonna do the dare that Ishan told me to do. It's not forgotten. Another JRPG that has a battle mechanic like that is Chained Echoes. Every fight starts you at full HP MP. If you fail, you get to try over again and can make it easier. Really great story too. Yeah, it was in reference to the Trails games where when you die, you can retry at a lower difficulty every time you die. Ever heard of Trails, Brad? Is it
Which one is
big
this
in
one?
trails? Like there's trails in the
Yeah,
sky. 1, 2, 3 trails. Yeah.
I don't think I have. Come to think of it,
Oh, you're missing out. This is a crazy good JRPG that spans like over years and years. Um, like I just finished Trails from Zero yesterday. It was absolutely amazing. Um, and all it's games where it's kind of the Marvel universe in that sense that it's not like Marvel at all, but um, you play the games like there's Trails in the Sky 1, 2, 3. You have main characters in those, but they will interact with what happened with the other arc. Like second arc is in Crossbell, um, and it's Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure, and you have recurring NPCs and even the main characters coming to the story, and then there's Trails from Cold Steel 1, 2, 3, and 4 that featured some character previously, in the previous game. This is a very big universe. I've been playing them all, so
so instead of describing it like Marvel, you could just say the series has continuity.
yeah. But the podcast would be shorter. We're working on quantity here, not quality.
ah,
But no, it's not true because we don't put out that much quantity either. Anyway, um, yeah, it was in reference to that mechanic. Then Mike says, "Yeah, the only way out of a ward asylum would be to act normal and convince the doc and nurses. But given that you mysteriously wake up in one, might make you a bit paranoid and agitated." It was in reference to the city question last time. That was how to get out of an asylum. And Gru had pretty good.
asylum.
Asylum. Gru had some very detailed way to get out of there. So,
I
yeah.
did.
Yeah, don't remember that?
I forgot.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, I remember that I just sort of answered.
Yeah, very, very naturally. A very good answer. That's
I swear I've not gotten escape
no,
from asylums before, really.
no, I know.
I've not spent time plotting how to make my way.
So thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate your comments on pretty much every video I put out. Even not pretty much. I think Mike has been commenting on everything I've been putting out. So thanks a lot. I appreciate it. And then we have Zach from Old Man Gaming saying, "Hey, I listened to the episode. Will, the trick of the game is you have to somehow do the whole game without using a continue. It's super challenging. It's in reference to Dodonpachi. I've been playing quite a bit of shmups lately, and yeah, I was saying you can, complete the game no matter how bad you are because you have infinite continues." And then Zach says, "Well, yeah, but
That's
the
the only
thing
way I
is,
can complete those.
well, I succeeded in completed the game on normal without using a continue.
You did a one credit clear? Nice.
Yep. On normal, right?
Hey, check.
Not.
That's the default.
Yeah. I know, but it can be a lot harder than this. And I didn't do the old second loop stuff. Just the base game, just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
5 stages.
I
It's very
still
hard.
think that's impressive.
It's
That-
super
That's what I
hard.
was saying.
Yeah. You really need to learn the patterns of the bullets and stuff. I had a lot of fun though. It was really great. um Will, one of my all-time favorite game is the hardest platformer possibly ever made. um
I want to be the guy.
is it like a guessing thing?
I don't know. I want to be the guy is probably the hardest platform I've ever seen, at least.
Yeah, well, enlighten me. I don't we don't do episode often enough to remember. After all. Also, Will, I play for the story, not the challenge. Um, yeah, I'm lost.
Oh, I think he's saying that you're like you enjoyed a really hard platformer and then you a moment later said, "Oh, I play for the story, not the challenge."
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Because I'm playing Trails, the JRPGs on easy mode because I don't want to grind and I just play for the story. But uh, in some games I play for the challenge. It depends. I never play a JRPG because of the gameplay mechanics. It didn't happen. Um, I love Persona because of the characters and social links, and same for Trails. I'm playing for the story. I don't really care for the challenge. But when I play like a platformer, an action game, I want the challenge. I think yeah, you're on it. Thanks for bringing me back on track. Then he says, "Truth. How many nipples do you have?" I'm just kidding. Congrats on a year, guys. On the subject of being different games, one thing I will say is that they are a franchise that avoid franchise fatigue by always having a different universe in the world. And the world. All right, keep it up, guys. Hashtag what's your address? Because we said we wouldn't give our addresses, even if it was asked as a truth. We did Brad might not know, we did a little truth or dare thing to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of the podcast.
How would you do a dare over the podcast?
Well, we only got one, which I'm glad. And it's just, the dare is super vague. Ishan dared me to play Terraria. So the only thing I need to do is play Terraria and I will have done the dare. but it's not. He didn't say like play Terraria to completion or play Terraria for 30 minutes or kill a boss in Terraria. It's just play Terraria. So technically, if we want to be very technical here, I could boot up the game, walk like 3 steps, and be done, and I would have played Terraria.
I would
I
not
think-
classify that as playing a game.
I think you should post that in the next one. Yeah.
That
Say,
could,
okay, I played Terraria.
yeah. Brad has a point. What is playing a game? But let's
Oh,
say,
that's a good question.
yeah. I don't want to put too much time into this because I already know what I'll do with the Terraria thing. I've been playing with my son, and we built a little house, and we did a few things. And I'm gonna do a the video will be just me showing off what we've been doing in Terraria, my son and I. So I think it's gonna satisfy to the dare thing without being too sleazy. All right, so that's it for the not the questions, the comments we got. Next, what have you been playing since last time we spoke? Who wants to go first?
I think Brad should go first since he's the guest.
Well, I haven't been playing a whole lot. Let's see. Well, for this month, I've been playing a lot less than usual because I don't have my main system. I've got my old Xbox One here. So obviously, I've been hitting Fallout 76 to do my dailies, check all the cosmetic stuff, build up my camp. They finally made the Cardinal available again, which I immediately purchased and placed next to the owl for my ally. So she has a rabbit, an owl, and a cardinal.
Got our own petting zoo now.
Yeah, well, they have lovely cages and everything. Other than that, before I took my vacation, I was slowly chipping away at the Master Chief Collection, and I think
Oh,
I'd gotten
yeah,
up to.
yeah.
I think I'd gotten up to Halo 4. No, that's right, because I'd finished ODST, which had a couple of glitched achievements, which is super annoying. And the only way to get them, you can't get them on a second playthrough because it saves the collectibles you've gotten. You have to do co-op play with somebody else who doesn't have them. It's super annoying.
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, I was just chipping away at the Master Chief Collection just when I had time and felt like it. I'd do a couple of chapters. And then the other day, the other week, they put the remaster of Quake on sale. So I picked that up, and so every so often, I'll go downstairs and play a couple of chapters of the remaster of Quake, which has been forever for me.
wow, yeah.
But yeah,
That
nothing.
came out when I was like in college.
Yeah, I mean, it's an old game, so it's one of my first PC games when I finally had a PC that could play games. But
Yeah,
it's a
it's kinda
remaster.
old.
It's got all the expansions. Yeah, I mean it's entertaining at least. It's hard. You have to manually save. Oh God, if you don't manually save, you have to repeat the entire chapter again.
Oh,
If you die,
right.
that is.
I totally forgot about those old games. Yeah.
Well, they remastered Quake.
Manual saving. Wow.
Yeah. Well, they remastered Quake 2 and released it not long ago, and it's not real expensive, and it's got all the expansions and crap, but I wait for a price break. These days, the only games I pay full price for are from the Persona series, which there are 2 of them on the horizon, and I'm going to have to shell out the cash.
You'd think on a remaster, though, they'd at least put in an autosave feature.
Yeah. So when you're talking about remasters, I suppose you're talking about Persona 3 remaster, right?
Yeah, Persona 3 Reload, but then there's also Persona 5 Tactica.
Huh. Never didn't heard of that one. I know I'm quite interested in the remake. It's more of a remake, right? It's not just they're not just polishing up the graphics.
No, they're doing Persona 3. I think effectively the definitive version of Persona 3, which was portable, but they're using the P5 engine.
Yeah. I'm quite interested in that.
Well, I mean, I watched a couple of trailers, and from what I can tell, not only does it have just some new cinematics and some little bit of expanded gameplay, but it's got some new music tracks. And honestly, Persona 3 is one of my favorite soundtracks.
Yeah. Oh, same here. Same here. I do like 4 a lot, but 3 is very, very good.
Well, 3 was my introduction into the modern Persona games, which was good because that was the first of the modern Persona games. They effectively relegated the previous 3 to sort of non-canon, but uh, it's a lot more atmospheric, I think, in many ways. And it's the one of the 3 modern Persona series. It's the one that doesn't have a cutesy mascot.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I don't dislike Kuma, I don't dislike Morgana, but it was nice to play a game where we didn't have a cutesy mascot. I mean, they had the dog, but the dog was a character, and you could, you could hang with the dog or not hang with the dog, and it really didn't matter.
Yeah. So, played anything else?
Let's see. Yeah, actually, on the Switch, I have been playing. Christ, what is the name of that game? I just bought it recently. Uh, I can't remember the title off the top of my head. You're basically this part timer living in Akihabara, and you run into this authentic ninja. Of course, she's gorgeous and has no idea how the world works outside of her remote mountain village. And so you take her in, and she gets a job at a maid cafe, and there's very, very little interaction. It's mostly you're just going through conversations, and occasionally you'll have a choice, and I don't think it really makes a lot of difference in the game. But the graphics are cute. It's a cute story.
All right,
That
fair
sounds
enough.
light and silly.
Yeah.
It was on sale, and it looked cute, so I grabbed it. I mean, I bought a few other games. I just haven't started them yet.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, my Switch has a robust library that I really need to get to.
Anything else?
For me, no, I think that covers me. If I think of anything else, especially in this last month, I've kind of been taking it easy on games. Aside from doing my dailies in Fallout, I've mostly been focusing on other stuff. Just it's nice to be on vacation from just about everything.
True.
I wish I was
All
still
right.
on vacation.
I still have a few days. What about you, Gru, then? What have you been playing? Have you been playing anything?
Well, last weekend I downloaded and played Call of Duty just
Yeah.
long enough to get to the cash shop because I
Yeah,
got
just to make a point.
yes, I got irritated.
Wait, which Call of Duty? Because there are quite a number.
Mobile. Yeah, I
Oh.
don't have a computer that can play games really.
I didn't
So
realize there was a mobile Call of Duty. I guess it makes sense.
yeah, there is a mobile Call of Duty. I really only played it long enough to get through the tutorial so that I could see what the cash shop was like because they wouldn't let me look at the cash shop until I'd finished the tutorial, which irritates me. So that's its first strike against it. It made me play it.
Yeah, they want to get you hooked
Yeah.
before you see the cash shop. Because if they would show you the cash shop right at the beginning, you might leave before playing. So
well, as Hououin knows, we got into a little tiff about cash shop prices on his Discord, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go look up cash shop prices of the top mobile games, and we're going to see who's right. Newsflash, I was. Me.
yeah, I was under the impression, and I was not alone, that the cash shop in Villagers and Heroes was quite expensive. But it turns out that it's pretty average. It's really not that bad.
No,
What I
it's
always
pricier than some. It is pricier than some, but it's
Oh yeah,
cheaper
it's
than
not
others.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
not an outlier
It's not
though.
crazy. Yeah. It's pretty much an average cash shop. What I always felt with V&H, uh, I think it would be very difficult to spend like $100,000. There's some mobile game you can spend pretty much all the time, but I feel in V&H, at least it depends. If you have like 10 alts character on every server, maybe it can be very costly. But if you have one character, once you have bought one premium mount, you have the premium speed. You don't
Yeah.
you don't need, you won't get anything really to if you buy all the mounts, apart from having all the mounts. But at this point, your first mount is kind of give you a gameplay advantage. It
Yep, that's all you need. Just one.
but all the other ones don't. It's just cosmetic. So same with a lot of other stuff. So I feel once you've bought the few items that gives you perks, after that it's pretty much done for the cash shop. Uh, I still
It's
have crowns to spend, and I just don't know what to buy. I don't need anything really. So
well, as you know, I'm on a very tight budget, and I played V&H on a very tight budget for many, many years, and so I guess I really felt like it was about equivalent to other cash shops, and because
yeah,
I
it
pay
definitely
very
is.
close attention to how much things cost in different games because
I
I
would
am on
I
a
would
tight budget.
I would certainly love that to games to remove. They will never do because that's how they trick you into buying stuff. But imagine that we'll stay on V&H for the example, but there's no crowns anymore. All right, it's just you open the cash shop and you see amount and it's $12.99. That's it.
Hmm.
I don't like when they obfuscate the price with
Yeah.
different currencies. And V&H is not that bad because there's pretty much only the crowns and that's it. But in some games you have the diamond that you can buy in the cash shop, but then to buy an item you have to convert them to crystal. And those crystals can be converted into platinum that you can use in the cash shop. And at some point, there's so many conversion that you end up not having a single clue on how much is the item you're buying. And
Or
this is,
like
yeah,
the problem I ran into with Call of Duty is I couldn't figure out how much anything would cost because everything, pretty much, as far as I could tell, it was very hard figuring out their cash shop as a newbie with no idea of the real game. Everything seemed to be in these loot crates, and I had no real idea of how much it was going to take to get a particular item from those crates. Sure, it gave me the percentage chance, but the thing is, when I looked at the description of the draw, each crate, for one thing, had a different kind of draw. Some of them are like, okay, when you get an item, it's removed from the draw pool, so you can't get duplicates. Some you could get duplicates. And one, I wasn't sure if all of them did this, but they said the initial cost was 30 of their premium thing, but the cost for each draw went up. And it doesn't tell you by how much it goes up. So, yeah, your first gamble is 30 whatever. How much is your next one? You don't know. How much is the one after that? You don't know. So it's absolutely impossible
yeah,
to calculate about how much am I going to spend on average to get the, item, the gun that's 1.25% chance, because I only know what I'm going to spend at first. I don't know what the next draw, the draw after that, or the draw after that's going to cost.
yeah. It's very
So
sleazy.
it
I
was
really,
incredibly sleazy.
yeah, I really don't like it.
Yeah,
Nobody does, but
and
it
that's
works.
yeah. I was like, I can't compare their cash shop to anything. Um, the other thing that happened to me was right at the end of the tutorial. It said multiplayer match, and it wouldn't let me go anywhere or do anything or do anything but go into the multiplayer match. I even tried exiting the game and refreshing the app and restarting it. Nope, I had to do this multiplayer match to end the tutorial. I'm like, okay, my poor team, but I'll stumble through this multiplayer match. And somehow I ended up like not dying and killing tons of people on the other team and getting MVP. And I'm like, wow. At first. And then I thought about it for a little bit. I'm like, you know what? I know that I suck at PvP. I have always sucked at PvP. I am the world's worst at PvP. How on earth did that happen? I am really suspicious. That's all I can say about it.
You think they tossed you in the game with a bunch of bots?
Of bots,
didn't play very
yeah.
well?
Yes, I honestly do.
Good way to get your confidence up, I guess. If you think, dude, I'm the best at this game.
Yeah, I'm thinking if they tell me it's a multiplayer game and it's multiplayer against a bunch of bots, I go in thinking, oh, I'm really good at this. And yeah. Then I play a real multiplayer match, don't do so well, but oh, well, I can do better. I know I can do better. I don't know. Maybe I'm suspecting things that aren't true, but I just say it was very, very weird to me to get that result. And that
All right.
is my Call of Duty experience.
I'm really not a fan. Those first person games makes me nauseous nowadays. I can't play them anymore. I loved first person shooters back when Doom was relevant. In the first Doom,
Yeah.
I mean. But
I they bore me.
See, I'm the opposite. When I used to play games like Quake, for example, they kind of made me nauseous. But modern shooters, good.
I don't know what's wrong with me, but yeah, I can't
Honestly,
anymore.
the only combat I really actually enjoy doing is Chimera Land, which I'm so sad about how badly it's been managed. Because I get to triple jump into the air and zoom around, and I love doing that. I really actually could probably care less about killing things, but I do love jumping and zooming.
Well, it's fine as long as you enjoy it. I suppose it's all good.
So I also played now I'm blocking on the name. Oh, come on. It's Genshin Impact.
Oh, yeah, because of your
Yes,
quest
I also had
to find the how things are priced.
Yeah, I also had to play through the tutorial to get to their cash shop. However, I liked Genshin Impact a whole lot more than I enjoyed Call of Duty. And I probably...
Oh, of course. Genshin is pretty good, actually. It just takes too much space on my phone for me to engage with it. Like, seriously.
Yeah,
This is the
yeah.
biggest reason I don't play Genshin Impact is I don't have enough room on my phone to play Genshin Impact.
I can
I
see
mean,
that.
I love other games. So, yeah, that was why I deleted it, because it's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on an iPad, it's great. And it did heat up my iPad, though. Wow.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, it's rough.
But it's beautiful. It runs smoothly. The translation is smooth. And the initial storyline, like, you lose your brother, or if you want to play the guy, then you lose your sister, and then you're supposedly trying to find him and whatever. I could care less about finding my brother. He can stay lost. But they throw in mystery in the world soon enough that it's an interesting storyline even without this silly brother. So yeah, you come across this mysterious dragon in the forest and this mysterious guy, and there's a mystery that you need to solve, and now I want to go solve this mystery and find out what's going on. So I probably will go play it again. So I'm kind of
Oh
excited
yeah, I
about
don't
that.
blame you. I don't blame you. It's pretty good.
And my daughter also plays it, and apparently you can do multiplayer on it. Like each person has their own world, and then people can join your world, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah.
She's playing the guy. So I'm like, "Hey, if I join your world, does that mean I found my brother? Is the game over?" So, and she's like, "I don't think so." I'm like, I know. I'm just being silly." So, but I kind of wondered, how do they handle that? Because she's the brother. So I am curious. I want to know now, how do they handle that? When I join her world, technically she is the brother character.
Are you sure it's not an alternate universe version of the brother character?
Well, isn't that just as good?
But what about the minor differences? You never.
Well, I guess maybe they're closer to the family than I am. Mine might have some improvements. Not my daughter. I love my daughter.
All right. Yeah, I never made it to the multiplayer thing. I only played, well, not offline because it's always online, but I haven't played with other people. Uh, I saw what it was pretty good, but took too much space. And it was eating up my phone quite a bit, which is not that good if you want to keep your phone for a long time. So yeah, ended up not playing it that much. But it's good. I don't blame you for enjoying Genshin Impact. It's pretty good.
So, what have you been playing?
You don't have anything else? Well, yeah, that was a big
Well,
quest that you undertook.
well, I mean, I've been playing Chimera Land, but we already know about Chimera Land and its descent
Yeah,
into
yeah. You don't have much
horrible
new
bug
stuff to
verse.
say. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did check my Switch while you guys were talking. The name of the game with the Akihabara kid and the ninjas, Nin Nin Days. So
Wow. You must
Okay.
be playing in Japanese. I don't
no,
is
actually, the name of the game is Nin Nin Days. That's the name of the game.
huh.
That's I got it on the U.S. store.
Oh,
It's
okay.
translated. The translation is not great. There are numerous typos. You nothing that you don't understand. I mean, I always understand what they mean, but yeah, the typos are pretty glaring.
All right. I'll try to put up some at least a gameplay trailer so people can see what the game looks like. Um
Your turn.
Yeah, I've played a lot of stuff. I'll try to keep it short. I finally played the Dismantle DLCs. Took me about 12 hours to do both of them. They're the Underworld DLC and the Doomsday DLC. So
Ooh, I heard
for
those are hard.
yeah, well, the thing is, I used my save file where I completed the game, so I already have, I had quite a bit of good stuff with me. Um, I didn't like Underworld all that much, and the reason it took me so long to, finish, well, quote unquote, finish Dismantle was that I thought Underworld was kind of a slog. I didn't like the lore a lot. You're all for Brad, who might not know, and our listeners who might not know, Dismantle is an indie game made by 10 Tons, a Finnish company, and it's
Really
an
good
open
one.
yeah, it's an open world game where you can destroy everything you see. Um, if you have a weapon that can destroy the thing, but you can destroy homes, you can destroy cars, you can destroy fences, trees, rocks, etc.
You like
And
destroying things.
yeah, you destroy things, you craft new things, you explore. But what makes the game special, I think, is uh, there's a lot of lore and visual storytelling into it. It's a very well crafted game. It's fun to play. There's a lot to explore, a lot of little mysteries to solve. Some optional, some are tied to the main storyline of the game. It's just very good. But then you get to the Underworld DLC, and it all takes place underground. It fits with the title. And it's all about the mana, the blue stuff you collect. And it explains the lore of this a bit. But the enemies are super hard to fight because they all have some like crystals on them, and you have to destroy the crystals with your crossbow before being able to do some real damage to them.
Oof.
Yeah, oh man, it was a slug. But I finally buckled up, did it, and I was super happy to get out and jump into Doomsday. And in Doomsday, it's really just more of what we like in Dismantle. Great lore. I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's an impending doom thing happening, and you must prevent it. And it's on an island next to the mainland of the game, and it's very good. I really really enjoyed Doomsday. I got my faith back into Dismantle, because Underworld, it just didn't do it for me.
Hmm.
But Underworld, the update, not necessarily no, I think it's tied to the DLC, because once you do a certain quest in Underworld, you unlock fast travel between campfire, which is really, really good. But I think you have to buy Underworld to unlock that. So
Oh.
yeah, I think Underworld is worth it just for that. But yeah, anyway, I've played quite a bit of that. So this is it. This is I don't want to spend too much time on this. Everybody that follows my channel knows how much I love Dismantle. Was my game of the year in 2022. Really, really love it, and I still do, and I've replayed it. Now it seems the DLC sold so well. They had two planned DLC, but kind of with John Wick 4, that should have been the end. It made so much money that they're doing a fifth one. They are planning a third Dismantle DLC, because it's selling very, very well. So I'm kind of happy about that. I will most likely jump in the next DLC when it comes out. Um, yeah, Doomsday is very good. Don't just slug through. I mean, some people probably like Underworld. I might be an outlier. I haven't looked on the internet what the consensus is on the DLCs. Uh, but yeah, didn't like Underworld, but Doomsday was quite amazing. Um, and then I finished Trails from Zero, a JRPG full of charming NPCs and political stories and good world building and stuff. It's just more of the same of the three first Trail games. I really, really enjoy that. Now I need to buy Trails to Azure. This is my next game purchase. So I finished that. Was great. I don't have much to say without spoiling the things. The characters were good. There were recurring characters from the first game that I was super happy to see again. I would really recommend playing Trails in the Sky 1, 2, 3 before playing Trails from Zero. This is so many scenes won't impact you as much if you don't know. So anyway, so I've played that. And then I've played Dust and Neon. I just made a video about that. That seems that my commentary was not on the video. I'm re-uploading it right now, so we'll see how it goes. It's a roguelite. You're a robot cowboy. You go on mission, like kill all the other androids, and you do some gunfights and come back to the base and upgrades your stuff with the XP you've gained during the mission. It's a very simple gameplay loop, but the gunplay is super fun, and you know those revolvers, like 6 shots revolver.
Mhm.
Six
When
shooters.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're out of ammo, you have to reload the gun, but you have to press the button for each bullet you put into the gun. Like
Oof.
reloading is a part of the game. And no, but seriously, I know it sounds bad, but it's so fun reloading your guns.
Well,
Um,
that's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. It's fantastic.
Because
I'm having a great time with this.
usually reloading mechanics are just kind of annoying. So the fact that they managed to make it fun is interesting.
It is. Very happy with this. I just the thing is, you make some levels, they call it ranks, and then you can upgrade something like you can you know walk faster or aim faster, etc. Those you
Mhm.
keep when you die, no problem. But the thing is, in the mission, you loot some weapon, and they go from common to rare to epic to legendary. We all know the drill. Legendary is orange, and you know the colors, the Diablo colors of the quality of loot you get. So
Is
there's a bunch of
that why
weapons.
they make it orange? Because I always
Yeah,
thought that was a
yeah,
horrible color. Like,
yep. It's
you
because
get
that
this
was what.
legendary thing and it's yucky color.
Yep, and VNH does it, and Diablo did it first. This is how it works now. Um, But the thing is that when you die, you lose your weapons. And so there's a risk reward that when you go and fight a boss, you need to be able to, you need to, you know, you say to yourself, all right, if I lose, I'm losing my legendary weapons. And I got on a mission where I needed to destroy something. You go into an enemy base and you have to destroy like the big motor thing that makes the base function.
Mhm.
And an enemy was clipped in the wall, and I couldn't shoot it. And I had to abort the mission. And when you abort to prevent people from, saves coming, or, oh man, this boss is not going very well, just go back to the title screen. And you can't do that. If you do that, it counts as a death and you lose your weapons. And so
Oh
I
no.
was so mad. I mean, I shouldn't have got that mad, but I made a short video to showcase that bug on the channel. It did pretty well, actually. I got almost 100 views in 2 hours. Like, but yeah, I
Sometimes
was mad.
getting bad.
Yeah, but I did it right to the game. I made a video. I'm re-uploading it with the commentary. The game is super good. It's just a bug like this in a game where you lose your stuff if you abort the mission is kind of it's pretty bad. Didn't encounter that bug again after. Maybe I was just very unlucky. It might be a user error too. Sometimes you think we get that all the time in VNH, people saying, "Oh, man, that quest is bug," and it's like, no, it's just that you need to talk to that NPC.
I don't
So,
think you can be blamed for an enemy clipping through a wall.
but what if uh, you can I'll show you the video. You can tell me if you think it's clipped or not. Maybe it was outside the building. I did went outside the building in case you could see the enemy through the wall and it was outside. I didn't saw the enemy, but could it be something like that? I mean, I cannot, I would go to court with that. Let's say this. But I was mad. I think the enemy was clipped in a wall, and this is bad. This should not happen in a game where your stuff is gone if you go back to the menu. So, but it's super good. I really recommend Dust and Neon. It's available on Steam. I think it's on Switch. If you're into action, roguelike games, roguelites, I always have trouble differentiating the roguelites versus your roguelike. But anyway, it's very good. The gameplay is super fun. There's no real story as far as I know. It's really go do missions, get loot. It's made by like one dude in Sweden, so uh, it's very indie, but it's very good. So this is what I've been playing. I think was it that Dismantle, Trails, and Dust and Neon. I think this is pretty much it.
By the way, William, I was looking up while you were talking about Trails, and apparently it's part of the Legend of Heroes series.
Yes,
And
exactly. Yeah.
it's the guy who's creating it kind of considers it his life's work. That seems to be kind of he considers it his magnum opus. I guess apparently the series in Japan is called the Kiseki series, and Kiseki
Yes, it's the
is the
Kiseki.
Japanese
Yeah.
word for miracle. And
Oh, I did not know that, but I did
I think
knew.
it's
Yeah,
miracle.
it's Kiseki. Yeah.
But apparently, there's like the big fan complaint is the incredible amount of time between the Japanese releases and the English localizations.
Oh, it's crazy. We're getting stuff years after, and not even in the order they came out in Japan.
Yeah, well,
So
that's a proud tradition from Square Enix and the Final Fantasy series. There,
yeah, yeah, like it works. It's divided into like countries. So the first, and it's chronologically. It's like
Mhm.
it starts in 1202 in the Liberal Kingdom, and you have three games: Trails in the Sky, 1, 2, 3. And then in 1204, you go to the Crossbell City, and it takes 2 years for things to happen there. You have two games. And then in 1206 or 7, you get to Erebonia, the big military country. But here in the West, we got Trails of Cold Steel before the Crossbell arc. And so and you can play each arc individually, but there's so many references to. I cannot imagine myself playing Trails from Zero without having played the Trails in the Sky series, because there's so many references. So many jokes would fall flat. So many relationship would not mean much when you play the other games. It's like, wow, this is a huge deal that this character is here. So anyway,
I hate to interrupt, but you
yeah,
did
yeah,
say that you
yeah. We
wanted
need,
to.
yep, yep. My yeah. We need to stop and restart the recording. All right, part 2 of the podcast. It's all about game achievement. Um, lately, I've been really, it never did anything to me. I never, I wasn't interested by game achievements at all, like trophies on PlayStation Store or on Steam. It's achievement, I think it's called.
well,
There's
I mean, they call them achievements on Steam because they call them achievements on Xbox.
Oh, okay, yeah. And on PlayStation, it's trophies, but it's all the same thing. Um, and lately, I would say in the past year, I've been super conscious about achievement. And when I really like a game, and I need to really like it, I kind of want all the achievements, and I will work for it. Scourgebringer is one I got all the achievement for, and it was quite the grind. It was hard. Um, in Wanted Dead, a third-person shooter slasher game, I was not able to get all the achievements, but I got the achievements related to the main game, which is like completing the game and on the hardest difficulty and stuff like that. I really worked hard for it. And another thing that I really, really like about game achievements is you see the percentage of people who got it. And I think this is just a trick to make you feel special. But when I completed Wanted Dead on Japanese hard mode, and I saw that like 0.9% did it, I was like, yeah, I'm in the top 1% of players of this. And makes me feel pretty good. So but I
I,
think it's kind of the trick. What do you think about game achievement? Go ahead, Drew.
I think they do add to a game. They're like an extra little meta thing that I love like little check boxes that you can check off and go down the list and check each thing. It feels good.
And then at the same time, we complain about quests that looks like chores in MMOs.
but
Anyway,
but
gamers
achievements
are
are
complex.
optional.
I know, I know. Um, I
I
know.
know. I
I do
know what
like
you're saying, and it's I don't know. I don't understand it either.
it does add some gameplay time. Once you're done with the game, you can still, there's an achievement for completing the game without. Now I'm back into like more action games, but there will be an achievement like don't use the guns for all the game, just use your knife or your sword. It's like, huh, all right, I'm gonna work to get that, and you have to learn the game a bit better. You have to change a bit how you play, and it it gives you some more gameplay time out of your games. It gives you a clear goal to achieve. Because you could challenge yourself even if there's no achievement, but with an achievement it becomes clear you have, okay, I want to do this, and then you work to do that. Anyway.
So, Brad, I know you're into achievements.
Yeah, not as much as I used to be, but I mean, let's see. According to Xbox.com, I have been an Xbox Live member for 20 years, and my gamer score
Wow.
is 287,595.
I have
That's
no idea what is there a how can I say? Is it a high score? If
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
compare it to other people? Is what I'm trying to
Well,
say.
the problem is it depends on how often you play games, how many games you've
Yeah,
played, how
yeah.
long you've been, playing games on the Xbox from the 360 when they finally started achievements. But if you consider that Xbox Live Arcade games, before they made them basically full achievement lists, were, I believe, 400 gamer score was the maximum on those. Full price games, full retail games were 1,000 maximum gamer score. That was generally the default.
All right. So okay, yeah.
So it's
So
considered a high score, and because I've kind of diversified in the last several years with I play some PlayStation family games, I play some Nintendo family games. I don't add to my gamer score as much as I used to, and I almost always wait for games to go on sale, so I'm not buying all the latest games. It's easier to boost your gamer score these days with achievements because of Game Pass. But before Game Pass, no, yeah, that was considered a pretty high score.
so but nowadays you don't really look at them, right?
Yeah, I don't worry about achievements quite as much. I mean, I do. Like, if I'm playing the game, I'll look at the achievements list. Like, that's one of the things I've been doing with the Master Chief Collection, because they have a bunch of little random achievements, like find this terminal, or find the cave people thing, or complete this chapter without exiting your vehicle, or something like that. And I think, sure, let's give that a try. Why not?
Yeah, I feel it's probably very personal to me, but I feel game achievements, for me at least, works really well with action games.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely. Absolutely.
because I just finished Trails from Zero. It was a long JRPG, took me a bit more than 40 hours, and there's a bunch of achievements to get, but it implies me to complete the game on New Game Plus, and I don't really care. I don't really want to do it. Um, so yeah, I feel achievements in long story-driven game are really less compelling than in action games, because in action games the achievements will all be about some using some weapons or not using some weapons or completing it in a harder difficulty. And this appeals to me a lot more than, you know, uh, like in Trails, you get achievements for getting closer to an NPC or another. And, I don't want to replay the whole game. making choices to be more friendly with this particular NPC than that other one. I don't, it's not
Oh
compelling
yeah.
to me.
I have most of the achievements in Wildflowers, except there's an achievement for marrying each and every NPC. And so some of them I have not married.
Yeah,
And
if you
I
don't,
don't have any desire to,
and of
so I
course, yeah,
don't
and
have those.
it's not because you marry them that it's not real. It's just in game. Even if you hate them, you could just do it for the achievement. But if you have no interest in that NPC slogging through the conversation and bringing them the gift they want, why would you do that? It's
Yeah.
For the
Plus
achievement.
I have
yeah,
to
you
start
do
a
that
new
for the
game too,
achievement. Yeah, you do that for the
because
achievement. But
there are
yeah,
two NPCs that marry each other later in the game if you don't marry them. So I have to start a new game if I want to marry them.
yeah, yeah. No way.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
You
You
wanna talk about annoying achievements? Don't get me started on this. Okay, so Gears of War, the original Gears of War, had an achievement called Seriously, and it was a 50 gamer score achievement, and it was for 10,000 multiplayer kills. Consider
that's
that
a lot. Yeah,
the
that's
matches were 4-on-4,
wow.
and yeah, I'm. It took me several months, but I got that achievement.
Wow.
After
Yeah,
that, though, Gears 2, Gears 3, they started ramping up the difficulty. Gears 2, well, the kill count you had to get across single and multiplayer was insane. Gears 3, you also had to get like all of the in-game like trophies for X number of kills with each weapon, and it made it that much more ridiculous, and I lost interest in those. But there are other achievements. The worst ones are all right. A, achievements that you can only get by being the top of the leaderboard or being featured on their video series or something like that. There were online games that were you had to be like the number one guy or the number one player or whatever, and that's just almost impossible to get, especially if the game is popular. There
Yeah.
are other achievements for games that are simply no longer attainable because the servers are down, the servers are offline. Multiplayer achievements kind of suck because eventually when those servers go offline or people stop playing the games, you can't get them unless you farm them. And even then, some of the achievements are, require a full team of people on both sides.
Yeah.
Like there's one achievement I managed to get for, I believe it was NBA 06. I just got a hold of a copy long enough to get it, and it had to be a certain number of players online at the same time. And I believe the community tried to do it twice, and they managed to succeed the second time. And I was part of that, and so I did get the achievement for that. But I mean, you can't get it anymore because the servers are shut down and nobody plays the game. So those online achievements, especially for either being the best or for there's things that require the servers to be going, yeah, those are garbage. Those are terrible. One of my favorite old Xbox 360 games, Chrome Hounds. It's a fun mech game online made by From Software, the Armored Core guys,
yep.
and you can't get most of those achievements. So you can only get the single player achievements now because the servers are shut down. You can't play Chrome Hounds online anymore.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that kind of.
those achievements are really, really bad. You should not like in Dismantle, just to bring back Dismantle, but um all the achievements are in the main game. There's no achievements related to the DLC. So you
Oh,
can
that's
get all the
nice.
yeah, that's nice. I think that's nice. You can get all the achievement without spending money to get the DLC. They
See,
haven't locked any achievements outside of the main game.
See, I don't mind DLC achievements, although I will say that Sony has done a pretty good job with their trophy system, which is just a copy of achievements, let's face it. But
Yup.
they separate things like New Game Plus runs and a lot of times DLC into separate trophy lists as subheaders. So you can get all the trophies in the main game to get your platinum trophy. It's because they have a platinum trophy. Microsoft Xbox doesn't have any sort of platinum style trophy for getting all the achievements. It's just the numbers that you get. But I think because PlayStation gives you a special trophy for getting all the other ones, it would be unfair of them to then take that platinum away by adding DLC. So they separate.
Yeah.
Microsoft doesn't have that problem. So in that case, if there's DLC, then there's just more achievements to get.
Now, what do you guys think about getting in-game items as rewards for getting achievements? Because Utopia Origins has an in-game achievement system, and you actually get cosmetics and stuff for hitting them.
Well, that's what games
totally for it.
For achievements. That's what games used to do. If you
Yep.
completed some sort of collecting series, then you got a thing in a game, a reward. Those are effectively that predates achievements.
Because on the Apple achievements, you don't get anything for them. You just get woo, you got the achievement.
Yeah, and what I really dislike about Game Center on iOS is you cannot see the percentages of other players. Like I got I got all the achievement in Scourgebringer. How many other people got them? No idea. On PlayStation, on Steam, it's super easy to see. Okay, this achievements, 90% of the player get it. Those are particular achievements like the first step in the game. So as soon as you start the game, you get the achievement. But on iOS, you cannot see, if your achievement is special or not. We'll say it that way.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
I really hate that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at my Xbox achievements on the website, and it tells me what percentage of people have unlocked each of these achievements.
Yeah, I think this is what I like because it makes you feel special. It's like, oh man, I'm like the top 1% of people in this game. Even though it doesn't mean you're that good, but it makes you feel special.
Well, like on Xbox, the achievements come up. They have kind of this blop sound. I can't duplicate it. But if you get an achievement where 10% or fewer of the gaming, or less of the gaming community has gotten it, you actually get like a special sort of a grand sound for unlocking that achievement.
Yay.
That makes you feel good because when you hear it, you're like, oh, it's apparently a rare achievement, at least for now.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But yeah, I do still achievement hunt, although not as bad as a guy I know who, my gamer score was higher than his for a while because he got a later start, but he put his heart and soul into it, was going online and finding, I think, communities where they said, here's some games that are really easy to blow through. And he worked at a game store, so he could check out used copies, take them home, burn through, grab 1,000, then take them back to the store a couple of days later. And then he stopped for a while, and I just passed him naturally. And at one point, I guess he decided he wanted to get back into it, and I think Game Pass was his gateway to do that. So he's now, again, like 50,000 ahead of me.
Well, I've never gotten into them that much, but on games that I've really gotten into, I definitely tried to hit some achievements. So I guess that would make me seriously casual about achievements.
Well,
I'm less competitive about achievements than I used to be, but I do like. If they seem doable, I like to get them.
If I like the game, yeah, I will try to get every achievement. I really tried to get every achievement on Wanted Dead, but that ramen game, man, there's like a mini game where you eat ramen, and it's actually a rhythm game where it's like Rock Band, but just with buttons on your controller, and it's so hard. I kind of gave up, and I hate the mini games too. So I was, oh no, okay. I wanted the platinum, but I suppose I won't because it's just not fun enough.
Well, there's
to
a
do.
topic for a future podcast: mini games in games.
I wish that mini games wouldn't count in the trophy. That's for sure. But yeah, mini games and games. Yeah, let's not today, but let's
Not
take
today.
notes. Yeah, not today. Anything else on achievements?
Nope, not for me.
I honestly, I hate to say it, but I think the topic of achievements has been done nearly to death by
Oh yeah, I'm
numerous
sure.
gaming websites and channels. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it's still
sure.
a good topic. It's just there's not a whole lot more that we could say that hasn't probably been said 100 times.
Yeah, I just like achievements.
Oh no, don't get me wrong, man. I have many opinions on achievements.
But yeah, you're right.
Pippin.
You're right. Okay, so we are a gaming podcast, but we need to address some questions, some serious stuff. So this time it's gonna be, what's your biggest kitchen fail? And I thought it was a fitting question because Brad is having a YouTube channel where he cook and eat stuff. It's called One Man in Japan. So go look him up. I'll put a link in the description.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm sending you that many subscribers, but I'm trying. All right, I do it every time you come on the show. I put a link.
I appreciate the support, and I also appreciate that you watch, comment. I'm assuming you're clicking the like, so yeah, that
Yeah, of course I'm
any
clicking the
engagement
like.
helps the channel, so I appreciate it.
But yeah, so Brad does a lot of cooking. So I thought it was a fitting question to ask while he was with us on this podcast. What's your biggest kitchen fail?
Waiting
Who's go-
most of my life to start actually cooking for myself.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
not what I went for on my end, but all right. Yeah.
no, that's. I mean, I'm not saying I've never burned anything or overcooked anything, but yeah, waiting most of my life to finally start cooking for myself. Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. But I'll make it up for lost time. I think.
Oh, you're definitely cooking a lot lately. I can tell you that.
Well, I do once. I
Uh,
mean, once a week, but I mean, I do stuff that I don't show on the channel. There's things that
yeah,
I
of
just make at
course.
home
Yeah,
that are
yeah,
not
yeah,
not worth it,
yeah.
or I just don't feel like recording myself and editing the video and subtitling it.
No, it's. I'm sure you're cooking more than what we see, but still, you're making a lot of cooking videos. So yeah, you're definitely cooking.
Yeah, I've got one more that I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to shoot it tomorrow, and I should have it up by Sunday. That'll be the last of my American version Brad Cook stuff, and then I'll be back to Japan.
Lucky you. I'll stay here with the beavers and the maple syrup. Maple syrup's pretty good though.
Stay up there in Canada, eh?
Hey, yup. I don't
Spend all
say
your
that.
loonies and your toonies.
Oh yeah. Well, not. I'm in the French part of Canada, so we don't say hey or hey or I don't know. I'm definitely the worst type of Canadian. I'm the French type. So
I don't know enough about Canada to know how the French Canadians are viewed compared to the non-French Canadians, but whatever.
I can tell you why when I was playing Final Fantasy 14, um, there's really some type of hate against French Canadian. I can tell you that from
Really?
the oh yeah. There's a big stigma on French Canadian, it- and I'm not too sure why. Yeah, English people definitely don't like. I mean, it might be remnants of wars of hundreds years ago. I remember I did a student exchange with people in Manitoba, and while we were there, students were reminding us how they beat us on the war between English and French in Quebec. They
That's
were like, "Yeah,
that's
we
a
beat
weird
you."
thing to do. That's a
Yeah,
weird thing.
yeah.
That
They
is a
were like,
very weird thing to do.
they were super proud, telling us they beat us, and it's like, yeah, but it's not you. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not even
it's
your
people who've
grandfather.
been dead
It's
for hundreds
people.
of
Yeah,
years.
it's just give up, man. I mean, we
If
can
your
have a fight
only
now and
pride
see
is
who's the
in
strongest,
what
but
dead people have accomplished, you need to get off your butt.
yeah, it was super weird, but we were really reminded of how us French lost the war in Quebec. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I know, but it's it, it it's not us. It's not
Right.
it's
And yet we're still there.
yeah, yeah. We're less and less, but we're still there. Um but yeah, anyway, it's fine. I can
Well,
sleep
maybe
at
not
night.
less and less. Quite a few people from France have been moving over to Canada.
Yeah, you're right. But last time I went to Montreal, I was surprised at how English it was now. Uh,
Mm.
we ate at a restaurant, and nobody in the staff was speaking French. And truth be told, why would they? I mean, you know, I, I can't hold a grudge. I mean, you can do everything in English in Montreal. So why would you, if you don't speak French, why would you go through the, steps of learning it? It's a hard language to learn. And
Yeah.
what will you do
Too,
with that? You
too
know,
many letters that you don't pronounce. It's just it's a
there's a
magic.
lot. There's a lot. There's a lot of silent letter that sometimes are not silent. It depends. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, enough of French English stuff. So Brad's biggest fail is not cooking food for himself earlier in life.
Yeah.
What about you, Gru? What's your biggest kitchen fail?
Well, I've had a lot of fails over the years.
I mean, we all do,
Es
I'm sure,
especially
but
when I've, like, had migraines and had to cook dinner anyways. I tend to really mess things up. But, I had to throw out a few dinners and make last-minute runs to McDonald's.
uh-huh.
But, I think my most memorable one was actually when I was young, and it wasn't that bad of a fail, but it is burned in embarrassment in my memory because I was dating this guy, and I really wanted to impress him. And, I had made an angel food cake before, and it turned out beautifully, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make you an angel food cake, and I am so good at this." And I talked myself up, and I told him about how great I was at making these cakes that are really hard to make. And then it was a huge flop. Yeah, I messed it up. I don't I overbeat the egg whites, and it didn't rise properly, and it was spongy and gross, and yeah. And he did not let me forget that. He's like, "This is your great cake?" And I'm like, "No, it didn't come out right."
Oh.
So that's my most memorable fail.
That's Call of Duty Mobile right there. The first one was like, man, I'm so good at this, and then after that,
Yeah, yeah, true. All right.
Yeah.
So mine is pretty close to yours, Gru. Um
Yeah.
it's from 16 years ago, probably. I was beginning to date my now wife, and I really didn't cook. Like when I left my parents' house for a week, I only ate donuts. I was living. This is not the fail, by the way. This is just to put in context, like how much I didn't cook. I'm better now. I can do stuff, but um,
sorry, that's like a pre-fail, man.
so yeah, on breakfast I ate two donuts. On
Oh.
lunch I ate three because you ate
Oh.
two for lunch and one for dessert.
How are you
And
not, like, sick all the time?
oh, after it only lasted a week because at the end of the week I was fucking sick. It was not doing it. Yeah, it was not working at all. But I was living in a when you rent I don't know how they call it. It's like somebody buys a house and then but they don't live there and they rent every room separately. Like you have one bathroom for everybody in the house and one kitchen for everybody, but everybody's paying their room. It's kind of an apartment but in a house, and
What
you're renting a particular room. And
what they call those in Japan is a share house, but I don't think that's the North American term. But share house
yeah,
is it's acceptable. That'll work.
I don't know if we actually have a term in the U.S.
yeah, here
I just seen
it's
it as renting a house or renting a room or something.
yeah, here it's called
Having
like
roommates.
chambre. If I was translating it, it would be just room. I was renting a room.
Well, yeah,
Um,
I mean, I think that's pretty safe. But yeah, in Japan, you can basically rent a room in a house with a whole bunch of other people that you don't get to choose, and
yeah,
everybody shares the
exactly.
kitchen and everybody shares the
Yep,
bathrooms.
this is exactly that.
Yeah,
And
so you
it
lived in a
happened.
share house for a week.
Yeah, this is pretty much that. Oh well, I lived there for 2 years, but
Oh, sorry.
because I was going to college that was just next to the street next to the house. This was pretty cool. But I was alone, didn't know how to cook, and I was lucky enough to be with. There was a few girls renting there, and they saw me and they said, well, if I actualize it in today's language, it would be, bruh, I think you don't know how to cook much. So they teach me to cook. They taught me to do some simple stuff, and after that, I was fine. I didn't eat too badly. But anyway, a few years later, starting dating my now wife, and she's coming for dinner at my apartment. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do a pizza, but I don't know how to do pizza, so I just buy a frozen pizza. Um, and on the instruction, it says put it on like the grill of your oven. So I do that. And what happened is I should have put this on a plate because it all melted in between the cracks and all, melted in the oven. It was quite
Oh,
the mess. It took me a few days to clean that up.
oh
Uh,
my.
so yeah, yep. It was written though. It was one of those, those pizza. I'm not sure I will pronounce it right. Dr. Oetker. There's a few varieties.
I mean, I don't know
I'll
that brand, but basically, you bought a frozen pizza that said "put it on the rack," and you did,
Yup.
and
And I did, and it didn't work. It all melted in between the cracks and fell
Huge
into the
mess.
bottom of the oven. Yeah, that sucked.
Mm.
Uh, I don't know how we saved this. I mean, I'm married now, so I suppose it was not life changing. Um, I can't remember what we did. If we ordered some food or if we did like pasta or something. But anyway, that was what came to mind when I saw the question. So this is it. This is it for the show. Anything you want to add before we close?
Nope.
I honestly can't think of anything. I
All
don't
right.
have that much to say.
All right then. Well, Brad, Gru, thanks for coming on and talk games with me.
Always a pleasure. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, I
Great to see you,
appreciate you
Brad.
coming in. All right. Have a good rest of your day. Go play games now. Have fun. Bye bye.
Bye.